who speaks a lot of bad things, speaks badly, rudely to people. And we had read hadith about those. Today, inshallah, first we are going to read one long hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ has explained several things of deen, but at the end the Prophet ﷺ has rested everything of those things being accepted and holding value in controlling your tongue. عن معاذ قال قلت يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أخبرني بعملي, and we've read this hadith before, أخبرني بعملي يدخلني الجنة ويباعدني من النار. قال لقد سألت عن أمر عظيم وإنه ليسير على من يسره الله تعالى عليه تعبد الله ولا تشرك به شيئا وتقيم الصلاة وتؤتي الزكاة وتصوم رمضان وتحج البيت. So the 5 arkan of Islam. ثم قال ألا أدلك على أبواب الخير الصوم جنة والصدقة تطفئ الخطيئة كما يطفئ الماء النار وصلاة الرجل في جوف الليل. ثم تلا تتجافى جنوبهم عن المضاجع. That complete ayah. حتى بلغ يعملون. ثم قال ألا أدلك برأس الأمر وعموده وذروة سنامه. قلت بلى يا رسول الله. قال رأس الأمر الإسلام وعموده الصلاة وذروة سنامه الجهاد. ثم قال ألا أخبرك بملاك ذلك كله. قلت بلى يا نبي الله. فأخذ بلسانه فقال كف عليك هذا. فقلت يا نبي الله وإنا لمؤاخذون بما نتكلم به. قال ثكلتك أمك يا معاذ. وهل يكب الناس في النار على وجوههم أو على مناخرهم إلا حصائد ألسنتهم. मुआज़ बिन जबल रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु से रिवायत है कि मैंने एक दिन रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से पूछा कि हज़रत मुझे ऐसा अमल बता दीजिए जिसकी वजह से मैं जन्नत में पहुंच जाऊं और दोज़ख से बिल्कुल दूर कर दिया जाऊं. हुज़ूर अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया कि बेशक तूने बड़ी ऊंची बात पूछी, बहुत बड़ी बात पूछी है, लेकिन बड़ी और भारी होने के बावजूद अल्लाह ताला के उस बंदे के लिए आसान है जिसके लिए अल्लाह ताला ख़ुद आसान फरमा दें और तौफ़ीक़ दे दें. तो सुनो, अल्लाह की इबादत करो और उसके साथ किसी को शरीक ना करो और अच्छे तरीक़े से नमाज अदा किया करो और ज़कात दिया करो और रमज़ान के रोज़े रखा करो और बैतुल्लाह का हज करो. फिर फरमाया कि मैं तुम्हें खैर के दरवाज़े भी बता दूँ. मुआज़ रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु की तरफ देखकर हुज़ूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया रोज़ा कि ये सिपर और ढाल है और सदक़ा ये गुनाह की आग को बुझा देता है जिस तरह पानी आग को बुझा देता है. और रात के दरमियानी हिस्से की नमाज, और इस पर आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने यह आयत तिलावत फरमाई. अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, सूरह शुद्दा की आयत है. ततजाफ़ा जुनूबुहुम अनिल मदाजि'i यदऊना रब्बहुम खौफ़न व तमअन व मिम्मा रज़क़नाहुम युनफ़िक़ून फ़ला तअलमु नफ़्सुम मा उख़फ़िय लहुम मिन क़ुर्रति अयुन जज़ाअन बिमा कानू यअमलून. इसका आयत का यह है मफ़हूम के अल्लाह ताला ने जो लोग तहज्जुद पढ़ते हैं रातों को बीच में उठ के, अल्लाह ताला ने उनके लिए ऐसी ऐसी चीज़ें पैदा करी हैं आँखों की ठंडक की कि बस उसका तसव्वुर महाल है, और ये उनके करने की वजह से अल्लाह ताला जो है वो उनको अता फरमाएंगे इस अमल की बिना पर. फिर आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया कि क्या मैं तुम्हें दीन का सर और उमूद यानी चोटी बता दूँ. मैंने अर्ज़ किया ज़रूर बता दीजिए. आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया दीन का सर इस्लाम है और सुतून नमाज है और बुलंद चोटी जिहाद है. फिर आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया कि मैं तुम्हें वो चीज़ बता दूँ जिस पर गोया इन सब का मदार है. मैंने अर्ज़ किया हज़रत वो चीज़ भी ज़रूर बता दीजिए. आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने अपनी ज़बान को पकड़ लिया और फरमाया इसको रोको. मैंने अर्ज़ किया हज़रत हम जो बातें कहते हैं क्या उस पर भी हमसे सवाल जवाब होगा. आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया ए मुआज़ तुझे तेरी माँ रोए. ये प्यार का मुहावरा है. आदमियों को दोज़ख में उनके मुँह के बल, या फरमाया कि उनकी नाकों के बल उनकी ज़बानों की बेबाकी से की गई बातें ही डलवाएंगी. अल्लाह ताला सबको महफूज़ फरमाए. इंशाअल्लाह क्विकली translated in English. Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu has narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day that, Ya Rasulullah, tell me something, if I do that I'll reach into Jannah and will be put far away from the hellfire. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you have asked a huge thing, a grand thing, but it is easy for that person for which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy. In every single word of hadith there is hidden meanings. Our mashayikh teach us that whenever you're trying to do a good deed or whenever you're trying to stay away from a bad deed, don't rely upon your own strength. Never rely upon your own strength. Try your best. Of course you have to try your best, but ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you strength. Say, Allah, I don't have strength, you give me strength to stay away from this, misdeed, or you give me strength to stay steadfast on this good deed. And another dua Hakim Atar Rahimahullah used to teach us was that, Ya Allah, that strength that you have kept within me, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not ask us to do things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not given us strength for. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not burden any soul with things that they cannot do. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do, it is 100% sure thing that we have the strength to do it in all times. It is only our misunderstanding that we are not able to do it. If we use the strength that has been kept within us, we will be able to fulfill the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Hakim Atar Rahimahullah used to teach us that you should ask, Oh Allah, that strength that you have put within me, make me the one who uses it fully. Make me the one who uses it fully. Because the strength is there, but who's going to make us use it? We are so dependent on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that even that strength that is already within us, we're going to have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, then we'll use that strength. So these all things are easy for that person for whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, listen, the first and foremost thing the Prophet ﷺ mentioned is being slave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is doing ibadat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not associating any partners. So that is something, that is the beginning point, without which nothing has any value. And this means that whatever becomes necessary as part of being the slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to fulfill those. So worship Allah and do not associate any partners with it, and pray very beautifully. Pray very beautifully. So even if we are not going to do some extra things, at least what we are doing, we should do it with concentration. I mean, the prayer will take what? If we prayed very quickly without concentration, it will take us maybe 3 minutes. If we do it with concentration, it will take 5 minutes or 7 minutes. That's the difference. But we are going to, whatever we are already doing, with just a little bit of more concentration, with just a little bit of more devotion, we will be making it worthwhile. We will be making it worthwhile. We will not be spending too much extra time or disturbing our schedule or doing something new, but that which we are already doing will make it weighty. And give zakah, and fast in the month of Ramadan, and do the Hajj of the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take us all there. Then the Prophet ﷺ said that, should I also tell you the doors of khair, the doors of goodness? So what does that mean? The first thing that the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned are the necessary pillars of Islam, right? But deen is not restricted to those things. Deen is not restricted to those things. I think I have clarified this before as well, that some people say that, Islam is, especially the non-Muslims, there was a group of interfaith people, whoever, they were exploring Islam and they came to this masjid. And the biggest misconception, surprisingly, they had was that Islam is a very simple, not simple, but Islam is simple. But they were saying in a way that Islam is a very superficial deen. There's no depth to Islam, na'uzubillah. Because they think there's only 5 things that you guys have to do. So you do those 5 things and you are Muslim, and that's it. It's not that. Islam is very deep. And unfortunately, a lot of Muslims are also in this confusion that these 5 things are Islam, so we just do these 5 things and then we are Muslims. In fact, some people, there's like a faction that totally starts to argue with you if you talk about this. So the answer to those people is that, what about marriage and talaq and inheritance? Are these things not part of Islam, so don't marry then? Nawaz, roza, hajj, zakat, where is nikah? So don't do that then. Why do you do that? As a Muslim, you shouldn't be able to marry because that is not part of Islam. Anyway, so Islam goes much more beyond that. And Hazrat has written in the explanation that when the Prophet ﷺ said that, should I tell you also the doors of khair, he was referring to those things that are not the pillars upon which the building stands, but the accessory things, for example, the walls, the windows, the doors. The Prophet ﷺ said, and the other meaning that the ulama muhaddithin have taken it from this is that these were farais. The other farais, apart from these farais, because the Prophet ﷺ has again talked about fasting and sadaqah. So ulama have said that after zakat the Prophet ﷺ is talking about sadaqah, and after fasting the Prophet ﷺ is again talking about fasting. So that means that the Prophet ﷺ was talking about nawafil when he referred to the doors of khair. So the Prophet ﷺ said that fast, it is a shield against the hellfire and sins, and give sadaqah, because sadaqah suppresses sin the way water suppresses and puts out fire. And the third thing the Prophet ﷺ mentioned is salah in the middle of the night. And then the Prophet ﷺ recited this ayah of Surah Sajda, which essentially means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has for those people who stay away from their beds, calling about after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after their Lord, with hope and fear, with fear and hope, and they spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. Nobody knows what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for them. Such beautiful things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared for them for the comfort of their eyes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala they are hurting their eyes, staying awake at night. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give comfort to their eyes, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prepared those things. Jaza'an bima kanu ya'malun, whatever they are doing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward them for that. Then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, should I also tell you the head and the tip or the highest point of deen? And he said that the head of the deen is Islam, and summit, pinnacle, and the pillar is salah. Pillar is salah, and the head is, the pinnacle is Islam. So what is Islam? Those 5 things. When the Prophet ﷺ is referring to Islam, and we've explained it in detail, that Islam is the things that we do, apart from beliefs, that's physical actions that we do. And the head is Islam, the pillar is salah, and the epitome is jihad. And the meaning is that jihad is that which gives azmat, that gives physical glory to Islam. So that is necessary to keep the word of Islam high, standing tall. Then the Prophet ﷺ said that, should I tell you about something on which all of these are resting, and without which basically everything is weightless? Hazrat Mu'adh said that, Ya Rasulullah, definitely, please tell me that. And the Prophet ﷺ held his tongue and said, hold this, keep this in check. So I asked, Ya Rasulullah, those things that we say from our tongue, so we meant that those things that we just say without even giving them any importance, will we be asked about those? Will we be answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about those? The Prophet ﷺ said an expression of love, that may your mother cry upon you when you die. There should be somebody crying upon you. People who would go in Jahannam, the most of them, they will be sent because of the things that they would have daringly said without thinking properly, would have said from their tongues. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Some people have this habit, it's very prevalent in our social background, that people like to talk. Hakim al-Ummad rahimahullah said that whatever you do, it has to have a purpose. And sometimes the things that you do, if you don't know the purpose of what you're doing, then don't do it. Rule of thumb is, if you don't know the purpose of what you're doing, what are you going to get by doing that? Don't do it. Or if you know that the purpose that you are trying to achieve through it is useless, don't do it. So what you are going to get through it, for example, Hazrat has written the treatments of this, that talking excessively, basically, essentially, think before you speak. Whatever you are going to say, first wait for a second and think, what is the reason behind me doing this? And our mashayikh really trained their people, their students about this. if I remember correct, it's about Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahib Rahimahullah. Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahib Madadilluhum, he's alive, mashallah, alhamdulillah, may Allah give him health and life. He was sitting and there was a question, if I remember correct, because Dr. Abdul Hayy Sahib Rahimahullah was not a mufti, but people usually ask their mashayikh about dini rulings as well. So somebody wrote a letter asking him something. So what Hazrat used to do was that Mufti Taqi Usmani, Mufti Rafi Usmani would be sitting with him or other muftiyan, and he would pass over those letters to them. And many times we've heard from our father that he would tell them that write that answer which is the easiest, which is the lightest upon people, write that answer. So they would write that answer. I think if I remember correct, one time Mufti Taqi Usmani Sahib wrote an answer that Hazrat did not like, or said something that Hazrat did not, Dr. Sahib did not really approve of. So Hazrat only said this one sentence. He said, देख लेना चाहिए कि बात करने से मकसद क्या है. देख लेना चाहिए कि बात करने से मकसद क्या है. It's very small sentence. But this is something that's huge. If we bring it into our life and we try to do it actually, it's huge. That whatever we are saying and what are we doing, if we start thinking about why we are really doing it, then we'll 99% of the time will determine that we are things for no purpose. We are talking, we are saying things, we are doing things that have no purpose. There's a hikayat that I read a long time ago. I just remembered it from someone's talab. They say that the speaker, whatever they say, it is the people who are sitting, they have some talab in their heart, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts on the tongue of the speaker. So maybe somebody is there who's sick about this, who has this sickness. So for a long time ago, I heard about this hikayah, that there was a king and he had a son, a prince. So when that prince read somewhere the harms of speaking idle talk, so he stopped speaking. He stopped speaking altogether. So the king became very worried that my son has become sick probably, and he asked a lot of people and tried a lot of things, and many doctors and medical people came and tried to treat him, but they could not do anything about him, and he kept quiet. So somebody suggested that maybe he is socially sick, he's tired of what's going on, so maybe he needs a change of environment, so send him to some other place where some place where he can relax and have fun. So he was sent to a very beautiful place, and all the arrangements were made and everything, and the king also went with him. I think they sent him for a hunting trip. So they went on a hunting trip, and when they reached that spot, his people who were with him heard the sound of a bird. It was chirping. So they hunted it down. When that bird was killed, the prince only said, "Or bol." You understood what he said? You were speaking, you were making a sound, that is why you got killed. Said to that bird. Everybody understood that this person is not sick. He's deliberately staying quiet. And the king heard of it too. So the king became really angry that you troubled me with this so much. So the king ordered that he should be beaten, he should be punished. And people started beating him, that he put us through all this because of nothing. He was quiet on his own, on purpose. So he was being beaten and was constantly saying that I spoke after so many days, I spoke a small sentence and I'm being beaten so much for that. But anyway, somebody had talab, so that came on my tongue. Anyway. عن عبد الله بن عمر قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, so famous hadith, من صمت نجا. Abdullah ibn Amr ibn As radiyallahu anh से रिवायत है कि रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया, जो चुप रहा वो निजात पा गया. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever stayed quiet found deliverance, got freedom. عن أبي سعيد رفعه قال إذا أصبح ابن آدم فإن الأعضاء كلها تكفر اللسان فتقول اتق الله فينا فإنا نحن بك فإن استقمت استقمنا وإن وججت اعوججنا. हज़रत अबू सईद खुदरी रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु से रिवायत है कि रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से नकल करते हैं कि आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया कि जब आदमी सुबह करता है तो उसके सारे आज़ा आजिज़ी और लजाजत के साथ ज़बान से कहते हैं कि हम पर रहम खा और हमारे बारे में अल्लाह से डर, क्योंकि हम तो तेरे ही साथ बंधे हुए हैं। तू ठीक रही तो हम भी ठीक रहेंगे, अगर तूने गलत रास्ता इख्तियार किया तो हम भी गलत रास्ता इख्तियार करेंगे। हज़रत अबू सईद खुदरी रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु ने narrated the Prophet सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, he copied from the Prophet सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम that the Prophet सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम said that when a person wakes up, starts their day, all the body organs with humility and say to the tongue that fear Allah about us, have taqwa, be afraid of Allah, have mercy on us basically, we are tied with you, if you are on the right path, we are on the right path, and if you go wrong, we'll also go wrong. So there's one famous meaning attached to it that even we must have heard, that if because of our tongue we run into a situation where we take a beating, then the other body organs are going to take that beating and the tongue is going to stay stiff, although it started the issue. But the real meaning here is that whatever we say creates an effect on us. And this is a well-proven thing. This is the reason why our mashayikh, especially particularly in the old days and still today, they emphasize that if somebody wants to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and gains the ma'rifah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they should really curb their talking. They should really cut down on their speaking. Qillat-e kalam. Speak only when it's necessary. Because it curbs, it takes away the ma'rifah and the nur. It takes away the light of your heart. I think it is, if I remember correctly, it is also said in hadith that speaking excessively takes away the nur of the heart. The reason is, of course, the hadith that we've read many times, that if the Prophet ﷺ said that there is one piece of flesh in the human body, that if that becomes straightened, the whole body becomes straightened. Then what is the meaning of this? Tongue and all the body organs saying to the tongue that if you are on the right path, we'll all be on the right path. The reality is, Hazrat has not written it here, but I'm saying this from my mizaj, that the reality is that our tongue, our listening or our ears, our touching, our seeing, they are pathways to our heart. They are access doors to our heart. And the reality is that whatever we speak, the importance of that enters our heart. Whatever we say, it definitely affects our heart. And if somebody is in a disease, has the disease of speaking excessively and pointlessly, that is going to make their heart indulged in pointless things. And that is going to take away the nur of ma'rifah, the light of the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. عن سهل بن سعد قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من يضمن لي ما بين لحييه وما بين رجليه أضمن له الجنة. सहल बिन सअद रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु से रिवायत है कि रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया, जो शख्स ज़िम्मा ले ले अपनी ज़बान का और अपनी शर्मगाह का, मैं उसके लिए ज़िम्मेदारी लेता हूँ जन्नत की. सहल बिन सअद रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु narrates the Prophet सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम said that whoever takes responsibility, that is, that they will not be misused, their tongue and their private parts, essentially the meaning of the hadith, then I take the responsibility for them for Jannah. عن سفيان بن عبد الله الثقفي قال قلت يا رسول الله ما أخوف ما تخاف علي قال فأخذ بلسان نفسه وقال هذا. सुफियान बिन अब्दुल्लाह सक़फ़ी से रिवायत है कि मैंने रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से अर्ज़ किया, हज़रत मेरे बारे में जिन बातों से हुज़ूर को ख़तरा हो सकता है उनमें ज़्यादा ख़तरनाक और ख़ौफनाक क्या है? फरमाते हैं कि आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने अपनी ज़बान मुबारक पकड़ के फरमाया कि सबसे ज़्यादा ख़तरा इससे है। हज़रत सुफ़ियान इब्न अब्दुल्लाह सक़फ़ी has narrated that I asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Ya Rasulullah, whatever things you consider harmful for me, what is the most harmful for me in those? And he says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam held his tongue and said that I am the most concerned about this, the most afraid of this. This is the most dangerous. عن أنس عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا أبا ذر قال يا أبا ذر ألا أدلك على خصلتين هما أخف على الظهر وأثقل في الميزان قال قلت بلى قال طول الصمت وحسن الخلق والذي نفسي بيده ما عمل الخلائق بمثلها. هذا أنس رضي الله عنه से रिवायत है कि रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने हज़रत अबू ज़र गफ़ारी रज़ी अल्लाह अन्हु को मुखातिब करके फ़रमाया कि मैं तुम्हें दो ऐसी खसलतें बता दूं जो पीठ पर बहुत हल्की हैं और मीज़ान में अल्लाह की बहुत भारी होंगी। अबू ज़र फरमाते हैं कि मैंने अर्ज़ किया या रसूल अल्लाह वो दोनों खसलतें ज़रूर बता दीजिए। आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया ज़्यादा खामोश रहने की आदत और अच्छे अखलाक। कसम उस ज़ात पाक की जिसके कब्ज़े में मेरी जान है, मखलूक़ात के अमाल में ये दोनों चीज़ें बेमिसाल हैं। हज़रत अनस रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु narrated the Prophet सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम addressed Abu Zar Ghafari and asked him, should I tell you those two qualities that are very light, that if you bring them in your life, there's not a lot of burden, and in the scale of deeds said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are very heavy. Abu Zar said, Ya Rasulullah, definitely please tell me those two things. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the habit of staying quiet for long, tulus samt, or husn akhlaq, good akhlaq. And then the Prophet ﷺ said that by Allah, by the one in whose hand is my life, the deeds, among the deeds of makhluqat, among the deeds of creations, these things are matchless, bemisal. One final hadith inshallah today. This is Hazrat Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu again. عن عمران بن حطان قال أتيت أبا ذر فوجدته في المسجد محتبيا بكساء أسود وحده فقلت يا أبا ذر ما هذه الوحدة؟ فقال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول الوحدة خير من جليس السوء والجليس الصالح خير من الوحدة وإملاء الخير خير من السكوت والسكوت خير من إملاء الشر. हज़रत इमरान इब्न हत्तान रहिमहुल्लाह ताबी थे। ये इससे रिवायत है कि मैंने एक दिन हज़रत अबू ज़र गफ़ारी रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु, मैं इनकी खिदमत में हाज़िर हुआ तो इनको मस्जिद में देखा कि एक काली चादर लपेटे हुए बिल्कुल अकेले बैठे हैं। मैंने पूछा कि अबू ज़र, ये तन्हाई और यकसुई कैसी है? उन्होंने जवाब दिया कि मैंने रसूल अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से सुना है और आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम फरमाते थे कि बुरे साथी के साथ बैठने से बेहतर है अकेले बैठो, और अच्छे साथी के साथ बैठना अकेले बैठने से बेहतर है, और किसी को अच्छी बातें बताना खामोश रहने से बेहतर है, और बुरी बात बताने से बेहतर है कि खामोश रहा जाए. So there's a few things that should be clarified under this hadith. Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu, we heard many things about him. His personality was on the extreme of giving up this dunya, giving up his relationships, and I think I've told you before, at the time of Sayyidina Usman radiallahu anhu, his personality had become such that he could not bear to live with people. But the Sahaba of that time and the Tabi'een of that time, he found them so away from the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that it was hard for him. He would run after people with a stick, that what are you doing? This is something that we never saw happening in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Hazrat Usman radiallahu anhu had requested him to move away from the population of people, so he started living in seclusion. But this is his story, that he was one day sitting in the masjid alone. So different personalities of different people, and in this hadith it is also clarified that some people have this personality where they talk, but their talk is beneficial. Their talk is beneficial for people. Now, who's going to judge that? Our mashayikh. Somebody who we are learning deen from. We're not going to judge for ourselves. Because I could, or anybody could think that what I'm saying is very useful for people, so I should keep on talking. And people should keep on yawning. But I will not do it based on my own judgment. If I'm given that responsibility to do it, and most of the time the people who are given that responsibility are those people that if they were allowed, they would have ran out in jungles and they would have stayed away from the public and would not even want to be seen. So if I'm asked, if that responsibility has been put upon me, then I will do that. I will not judge and decide for myself that fine, now, my talking and my speeches are very useful for people, so now I should open a masjid and start giving speeches, na'uzubillah. Anyway, so first thing to remember, and this is very important. Some people think that we are telling them a very good thing. If you're not doing it properly, chances are that that good thing that you are telling them is going to have a negative effect upon them. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that I've heard the Prophet ﷺ that staying with bad people, having a bad company, it is better to stay alone than having a bad company. And to stay with a good companion is better than staying alone. This is the reason why our mashayikh say that when there is a majlis going on, when there is a gathering of the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going on, then leave your individual ma'mulat and come to it. Because that is, the Prophet ﷺ has said that a good gathering is better than staying alone. If you are staying alone, you can have a lot of devotion and concentration in doing your azkar, in your tilawat. But our mashayikh say that no, you should come to the gathering. The reason here is that gathering, Maulana Rumi rahimahullah, it's a famous share of his, that's yak zamana sohbate ba awliya, yak zamana sohbate ba awliya behtar sad sala ibadat beriya. One period, yak zamana sohbate ba awliya, sitting in the company of good people, the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, behtar sad sala ibadat beriya. It is better than 100 years of worship that is done without showing off. So it's a pure ibadat. And Khaja Aziz Hasan Majzub, who was the Khalifa of Maulana Hakim ul-Ummat Thanvi, he said that Hazrat, I have a confusion about this share. That yak zamana sohbate ba awliya behtar sad sala, in 100 years of ibadat. Hazrat said, you are confused about this. If I were to improve upon this, I would say behtar hazar sala ibadat beriya. It is better than 1,000 years of worship that is done without showing off alone. And the reason is that 1,000 years of ibadat that you perform, and at the end of those 1,000 years, if for a fraction of a second it comes in your heart that I have done a lot of ibadat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that I have done a lot of ibadat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, chances are that it will all go to waste. But if you sit in the company of people and everyone else that you are looking at, you feel like they are better than you, then this sense of humility within you will increase more than 1,000 years of ibadat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding. Sometimes our mashayikh, out of their mercy, encourage us to spend more time with them. And we think, oh, na'uzu billah, what kind of a shaykh is this? He has asked us to stop doing our ibadat. He has asked us to stop doing our tilawat, or sometimes nafil fast is becoming so hard upon you that you can't come to the gathering of the shaykh. So here, we are going to gain much more benefit from here. And they are thinking in their mind that, na'uzu billah, what kind of a shaykh is this? He's telling me to come to the majlis and leave a fast. I'm doing such a grand ibadat in my home, and they are asking me to give that up and come here. So whenever these kind of confusions come in our mind, just at least remind yourself that your shaykh, if he's a shaykh, he's been trained and he's allowed and he's been commanded to train people. Do you think he's so stupid that he would not have passed through those stages? That he has not gone through those experiences? At least you've made somebody your shaykh, at least give them that much respect. Anyway. So anyway, it is different for different people. If somebody is given the responsibility, is charged with the responsibility of bringing people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are doing it for that intention, then it is permissible for them. And some people, they have this personality that they have been trained, and they have this personality that they talk, and their talk is beneficial in terms of real benefit, not in terms of pleasure to the ears, but beneficial to the people in reality in terms of their deen. Then these people, their talk is a bigger ibadah than their staying quiet.